so many questions
Lay 'em on me.
around kombucha. Like I honestly, like, it's one of those things that it just came out of nowhere, right? And then all of a sudden everybody's like, you have to have kombucha in your life.
Right.
And I'm like, why? I'm live, and today I have Milan from Cultured Kombucha. She is a part of the Chic Social this year, and we are talking health and beauty, which I am so excited about. So, if you can tell us about yourself and how you actually came up with Cultured Kombucha, and then we can dive into all these questions about kombucha.
Yeah, definitely. So kombucha's actually been around for a very, very, very long time. Wow. It's an ancient drink, but it's the #1 fastest growing beverage in the U.S. So North America is the fastest growing segment. So we're hearing about it all the time here, but it's been around for a while. Okay. So that leaves market for the insurgence of new brands like mine. But despite that growth, I didn't feel like I was seeing enough people in our community welcoming it or even knowing what it was.
Yes.
For it to be that big of a trend, it seemed like it was missing whole markets of people. So I created Cultured Kombucha in the hopes of getting minorities more interested in probiotic health and wellness.
Yes.
My background is actually in architecture, so I am not in the food and beverage space naturally, but it did help me create this brand, and I do love brewing, so that's kind of how the two worlds came together.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so how long has Cultured Kombucha been around?
Cultured Kombucha is a baby. It's about 4 months old.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
this baby looks amazing.
Looking good, baby. I know, but it's still very new. It's still very new. I've been brewing longer than that, but just commercially since around September.
Okay, so tell me your journey. Tell me, like, what got you into brewing? Like, what was that first brewing experience? What does this brewing look like? Like, how did this flow for you?
Yeah, it's not always pretty. I think I first tried kombucha out in Portland many years ago.
Wow. Okay.
So it's much bigger out there in the Pacific Northwest than it is over here. I came home. I always wanted to learn how to brew it. I went to a class in DC, which taught us, and then I just started. And from the very first batch, it was really good. Like, me and my husband were like, wait a minute, I thought I'd have a couple of fails before I got on, but no, it's been really great from the beginning. I love the creative side of exploring different flavors, different things ferment differently. So something that might taste a certain way in one form doesn't taste the same when it takes the new form in kombucha. So that creative outlet of Cultured is really awesome. I have commercial kitchen space in Northeast now, and I'm slowly scaling as I bring on more clients. I'm in one grocery store in DC.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is not a baby.
You know, started toddling quickly, but it's still very young. And I'll be picking up a lot more clients in 19. So hopefully more people will see us around the district soon.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so just break down what exactly is kombucha.
Yeah. Kombucha is fermented tea.
Oh.
That's all it is. So you start with a base of sweet tea, and then you add in a sort of gelatinous disc called SCOBY, which is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. And the yeast eats the sugar, and it creates carbonation. That's why it's a naturally kind of fizzy, effervescent drink, and it adds in the probiotic benefits. So probiotics are really popular right now. A lot of people take them in vitamin or pill form. They're getting prescribed them a lot more. Our bodies actually recognize food in, they recognize nutrients in food form best, so I like to have fermented foods and drinks a little bit more than actually taking a pill. But the good bacteria and probiotics balance out the bad bacteria that naturally exist in our gut. When they get too thrown off, that's when we start to have illnesses, sicknesses, disease can take hold of our systems. So adding in the probiotics help keep us in check.
Level out. Awesome. So, okay, I know that we had a conversation offline. So I'm breastfeeding and I can't have kombucha. Could you explain like why that is, or is it okay?
So it's been a lot of new moms have actually told me that their doctor told them to hold off from the kombucha while they're breastfeeding. I have from them gleaned it's because your body is detoxifying and you can detoxify into your milk. And so then whatever toxins your body is releasing then might get passed on to your hungry baby. And so I tell nursing moms to hold off from the kombucha. I know it's really sad. Like, I feel bad for them sometimes, but it's just a little bit of time while, your body is taking other releases. But
so I won't have kombucha. We're going to bring Mo in to have kombucha in a second. But before we do that, can you tell us why this is important for us as a community to embrace kombucha?
I think it's really important. I mean, it's so much bigger than kombucha. I picked one small avenue that I enjoyed myself, but I don't feel like enough quality and healthy options are marketed to our communities. There's a ton of research that just keeps coming out about all of the big brands that sometimes have healthy, organic, different strains of their business, and those aren't the ones that get marketed to our communities. Like sugar sweetened beverages, like things that are very unhealthy, fried, processed. The cheaper markets are the ones that get brought to our communities. So I wanted to bring something for us that was good for us, because if the bigger brands weren't going to do it, I mean, I'm a small little guy, I'm boots on the ground. I thought that I could bring it to us and hopefully prove some market worth in our community as well.
Absolutely.
Because if they see that this is a success, they see that there is a market within our community for better products as well, and hopefully we'll get those targeted to us too, instead of just French fries.
Oh my gosh, you're such an inspiration. Love it. Okay, so we're going to taste, and then we're going to talk about an inspirational moment.
All right.
But we're going to have Mo come in. Come on over, Mo.
Hey,
You're going to come on this side. Hey.
Welcome.
Get comfortable.
Okay, so tell us what we have here.
Okay,
and what
so
we're tasting.
here we have one of our winter flavors. So all of our flavors are sort of centered around moments of Black culture. They're all around songs, and that was in hopes of creating some normalizing in our community, things that call on collective memories. This is one of our fall flavors, and it's PYT, which is Rosemary Lime. And it's PYT because rosemary has anti-aging properties in it. It helps keep you youthful. The lime is really good for the citrus, and it helps keep the drink fizzy as well. This is one of our winter flavors, and this one's Bugaboo. And it's pomegranate thyme. And that's because pomegranate's really high in vitamin C, and thyme actually has anti-parasitic properties, so it just helps get all the bugs out of your body. Good for the winter, good to help with a little immunity boost. So
Sidebar.
You're so good at breaking this down. Like, I understand how everything is like.
I want you to
helping
get it.
me.
Yes. And I just want to say this would be like the perfect gift for somebody that you're trying to dismiss from your life. Like, I just say it would be the cutest gift. Like if I was trying to break up with a guy that was just like not good for me, I'm like, you know what? Blessings. I can't do this anymore. Like I want you to have a healthy life.
I wish you health and wellness. You were a bugaboo, so we're done.
We're gonna keep this moving. I love that. And then for like Mother's Day or your good girlfriend, you're like, girl, you are a pretty young thing. Like enjoy this PYT and keep it moving. I'm just saying. Okay. So
let's do some Bugaboo.
Okay.
Yay.
You haven't had these ones yet, Mo, the winter flavors.
I'm excited.
And that's a fizzy over.
I love
Just
this
a small sip.
Okay.
Let me pour you up.
So while you guys are tasting, could you tell me like what makes your kombucha different from the others in the market?
So one thing that makes our kombucha different is that it's not as strong as some of the larger national brands. One thing about kombucha is that it continues to ferment through the whole distribution process. So if it's coming from Portland or LA or something, it's continuing to ferment as it makes its way around the country, ends up on shelves. So it picks up a lot more vinegar notes. Ours is very fresh and it's local. So the second I'm done brewing, I keg it, I bottle it, and I push it out to the community. So it tastes a little bit more like a garden in a bottle. It doesn't have a really strong vinegar front because it hasn't had those extra days to continue fermenting. So I make it such that I hope to welcome new people into the fold. Like it's not so off-putting that you would be like, I can't drink that. It's not so vinegary. So people who aren't used to kombucha or people who have been a little off-put by some of the stronger flavors tend to be able to palate this a little more.
Nice.
I agree. I've tried, some of your other flavors, and even when introducing it to my husband, like it's enjoyable, like more than some of the other ones that we've tasted.
So tell me about what you just tasted, Mo. Tell me about Bugaboo.
It's just so refreshing. Like it gives you this like little ting like in the back like after, but very refreshing. Like I just want to keep drinking, and I never found that in kombucha until I like tried.
It's addicting.
It is.
And we always have two. One's on a green tea base and one will be on a black tea base.
Ah,
So for people who actually really like kombucha, the black tea based ones, they have a fuller flavor and body. So that tends to give them what they're craving. And the green tea one, because green tea is a little naturally lighter and sweeter than black tea, that one's a good beginner one.
Oh my goodness. I honestly did not know kombucha started with tea.
Yeah.
And I love tea. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to try the next one.
Drink up. Now pour up.
You've had this one before.
Is this one of the ones that I tried at the pop-up?
Yeah. We had these ones on tap
Okay.
in the fall, so.
This
Taste the
one is real
rosemary,
good, but I taste
and the
more-
lime too, actually.
And they're so different, but they go down so well.
So, yeah, I think the first time I had kombucha, the turnoff was that vinegary taste.
Yeah.
You
Like,
felt
it was-
forced to drink
Yes,
it.
I was like, I know it's healthy for me. Let me just.
Right. Which is not the experience you want people to have.
Okay.
Now, I don't add any extra sugar because that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of trying to wrangle sugar-sweetened beverages off of people's addiction palate. But through the natural sugars of the fruit, it helps a little bit. So I just say that to say it's not super sweet. It's not Kool-Aid. It's not like red drink. It does still have a little bit of a different flavor to it, but I just try to make it a little more approachable.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to see you at the Health and Beauty Expo with Chic Social. And we're going to end this by you giving us your drop of inspiration. What's something that you could give to the women out there who are kind of like trying to do the same thing you're doing, right? Step out on faith, do something that they love, taking that leap.
Yeah.
What would you say?
My biggest pointer is to find community. It always is. So often we feel like we're operating in silos. Like you think you're the only one going through something, you think you're the only one struggling with something. But once you start talking to other people, you realize how human all of the things we go through are, regardless of industry. Like I could talk to Mo, who has like this beautiful clothing line, and I'm doing fermented drinks, and we would find that we've stumbled over a lot of the same things. So having people to talk to, having people to support you, lift you up. You know, I find a lot of people like sending questions of DMs, random one-offs, but like if you really have a community of people who are there to really give you a platform, and it's more symbiotic of a relationship too, rather than just asking like random strangers you can find. Like you guys really feed into each other, because you'll find it's very calming to find that sometimes you have things to offer others as well. So you ask questions, and then it feels really good when you're able to give somebody else an answer too.
Yeah.
Like that feels really good. So community is really important. It helps us feel more grounded, and like we're not just out there swimming and floundering.
Absolutely. There you guys go. So if you are looking for a community, we will see you at the Health and Beauty Expo with Chic Social. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.